What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Natty Baps. Shabazz is doing something real quick. He'll be on soon. Man, week 2, come and gone. It's sad, man. It's really sad. We only got 16 more weeks to go, man. But let's not think about the future. Let's think about the past. Let's talk about week 2 recap and analysis. Teams are starting to figure out, hey, they are them or they not. We're gonna talk about every single game. Uh, hey, big takeaways. Offense is starting to figure out. We discussed, being blips or trends. Some teams are still trending in the wrong direction. Some teams are actually, showing that they have a little something. So they can be special. And then you have some teams that are just resorting to their old selves. Until Shabazz comes in, drop a like, subscribe if you're new, tell a friend to tell a friend. I have students who try to find my social media, and tell them, hey, subscribe, but tell a friend, you feel me? So for those watching from all over the world, from if it's South Bend, New York, LA, Houston, whatever, let's get right. Oh, he's alive.
Yo, what's good, YouTube? It's your boy Shabazz. I had to take care of something real quick. We back at it like a crack at it. We did decent. We did decent with the picks. Spreads, well, it was bad. It was bad. Call some upsets, some favorites, sold the bag. We'll get to all that in a second. I'm elated. I'm excited. I won my first teaser. 14-point teaser, you know what I'm saying? I got 40 cash from that. But like the whole weekend I was hot. You know what I'm saying? I ended up with like 100 cash, 120 cash in my freaking FanDuel account. So I was like, so we do 100 on this week's teaser, which we'll talk. I don't talk. I might talk about it tomorrow. I might throw some gems in there for y'all to pick up.
Hold on.
Like, yeah, 100 to like a calm 4. I think I want to say.
Let me send that to me. Let me tell him to throw that $10 on that.
Okay. Well, we'll go into that tomorrow. We'll today we recapping week 2. As Nacho said, there was a lot of good games, a lot of teams figuring out who they really are, and we'll get to all that right now. Nacho didn't. Let's get ready. But starting off Thursday. All right, I'm annoyed to be called the upset. And we were this close. We were this close to happening. I think Kirk Cousins did as well as he didn't throw any sets. He didn't throw any picks. They just fumbled. Alexander the Great Madison. Actually, he's not the great right now. Alexander Madison. He lost his nickname. He fumbled, I think, twice. Justin Jefferson fumbled. But that was annoying. For him, I don't know why he did that. I don't know why he reached for the end zone. It was at the 1 because he ran in. But I think the Eagles, offensively, they figured out, all right, let's just run the ball. Now, unfortunately, for A.J. Brown fantasy owners like myself, that goes into a lot. But for the Vikings, you go in there like, yo, if this is the second week where your offense is thriving, but you keep doing dumbass turnovers when you're at the end zone, you're at the red zone, and you get third down, fumbles, whatever, you're not taking care of the ball. And Nacho always says, penalties, turnovers, if you take care of that, you're going to, in the most part, have a better chance to win the game. And the Vikings for back-to-back weeks failed to do so. The Eagles should have gotten waxed by the Vikings. I'm not going to lie. Not wax. It probably would have been closer. But I think that the Vikings should have won. Eagles won, I guess. You go into like Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown's little friction there. Secondary, as you quite greatly pointed out, can't get got. So we gonna see.
I think you're absolutely right with the turnovers, and you have 4 fumbles. It's like, bro, like as much as your defense can like do something, as long as you keep getting them on the field, I'm not saying the Vikings have like the best defense in the world. No, not even quite. They're middle of the pack. But if you keep putting them out there, they're gonna get exposed. And literally, they got exposed in terms of run defense. They can't stop the run. They can't stop the run to save their life. They literally gave up. I'm looking at this right now. They gave up 259 yards rushing.
That's atrocious.
259. DeAndre Swift had like the best game of his career.
Facts.
Like it's insane. 175. He averaged 6 yards a carry. That's some Nick Chubb. Again, we'll talk about him later. Praise up for Nick Chubb. But it's like that's some like elite running back stuff. And you're letting DeAndre Swift, no slight to him. I'm saying he's a good player, solid player. But 6 yards a carry, 175. They controlled time of possession damn near 2-1. It was 40-20, basically. It's like 39-21. Basically 40-20. If you're not getting on the field and every time you get the ball, you turn it over and fumble, your defense is gonna get gassed. You can't stop anybody. And as much as that offense can score, Jefferson didn't score, but like he had yards. He'll get yards, and it's the sad part where it's like, damn, like has he scored yet? He scored one touchdown against the Bucks, but that was just like a blown coverage. Other than that, it's been hard yards. They moving the ball, but they turn the ball over in the red zone.
He's
Or
a
they,
new age Julio.
bad. Well,
No, Julio, no,
he'll
just
get the yardage, but he won't
get
get the
mad yards, but doesn't get into the end zone all
right.
too often.
That's just like Kevin O'Connell just like does not know how to call end zone plays. But talk about a team that struggles with that too. But we'll get there when we get there. But main takeaways: Vikings gotta stop turning the ball over. They have the most fumbles, like strictly fumbles, not even picks. They have the most fumbles in 2 games since they did it themselves back in like 1950. Like that's so bad. They have like what 6 total fumbles, bro? Maybe 7 in 2 games. That can't happen. That's you can't let that happen. Now you play a defense in the Chargers. We'll talk about that next week. We'll talk about that tomorrow. But it's like you're playing a desperate team that will score points. Their issue is that they just can't stop. They can't get out their own way, and that's going to be a great game for this Sunday. But you're playing a desperate 0-2 Chargers team that's they are in every single game. If you give this offense more opportunities by shooting yourself in the foot, bad things are turning out to be. And you'll be looking at 0-3 down the pike, which I didn't call it, but hey, they'll be the last place team potentially in the NFC North next to the Bears, which I did not call at all. But good game for the Eagles. Jalen Hurts looks a little shaky.
For sure.
But that's the new offensive coordinator, no preseason. Like it takes some time for those things to mesh. That's all I'm really gonna say on that.
And real quick before we talk about the Packers and Falcons, which you'll lead that. I said it last week. Shannon Sharp today echoed what I said. He said lack of preseason reps with a lot of guys is why offense struggles. Like we get it. Defense, they can come out the gate dominating games in the first, like, let's say the first month. But eventually the offense usurps the defense, which is normal. But because they got the reps in. Preseason matters. And Shannon Sharp saying that is like, yo, like, all right, that gave me a little more of confidence that I needed. Because I knew I wasn't tripping. So I'm glad he said it. But
absolutely.
moving on.
Yeah, the Falcons didn't falcon. The Falcons did the opposite. They came back from 12 down. They beat the Packers 25-24. They were down 12 points in the fourth quarter, and the Packers ended up falconing themselves. They didn't turn the ball over. It wasn't anything like they just got conservative. They're like, oh, we're up 12, and that's it. Your guy, Bijan Honey Mustard, or I don't know how you call him, Bijan Honey Mustard, or Bijan Mustard. He's like when you there's certain guys, right? Jefferson, Chase, just skill position guys as rookies. You're like, this guy is gonna be a star. Bijan is that offense. He gives them such a needed just juice and electricity that has not been seen in Atlanta for a while, and just from the running back position. Like Desmond Ridder made some actually impressive throws. If you had the game on, I was watching the game because it's Bears household, but we hate the Packers as a collective. So so fuck them. But overall, you're watching the Falcons game. It's like, damn, like Bijan can do some things with this offense, but it's Desmond Ritter, man. He led a good drive, and they won by 3 points. They won by a point. You know, for the Packers, they have weapons. They have weapons, but they can't stop the run. They in both back to back games. Yeah, the Bears they down so much they couldn't really run the ball. But like the Falcons, their identity is running the ball, and they couldn't stop it. And it just came to this damn Falcons ended up coming back and winning. Like conservative play call. When you're that conservative, you play to lose. Like you're playing not to lose, but you end up losing that way. Like a lot of teams make those comebacks. Oh, we're good. It's a 2 minute drive. It's a 3 minute drive. We'll let them get all the yards they want. But if your offense can't get a first down, then you're giving the ball right back to them, and they're like, "Oh shit, we can go out and score and go
They
get a
got
touch."
momentum.
They got momentum. So Packers lost the momentum. Atlanta gained it, and it was at home. So boom, we got the crowd going crazy. Everyone, and the mistakes. The Packers kept shooting themselves in the foot with the penalties. Again, they didn't turn the ball over, but like they just kept making mistakes and in terms of like false starts and just drive killers. And Jesse Bates and Calais Campbell, man, I'm talking about it, man. That defense is revamped. Now I'm not saying they're gonna be like Legion of Boom or even a Saints defense, but they are a solid defense, and that was the biggest issue last year. They couldn't stop a soul. But now the defense is playing they have veterans who are wise and like wily. You know, they get the key stops when they need to. Falcons did that. They won the game.
Uh, it's tough. I feel like if you're a Packers fan, you're like, yo, we didn't have our two best players, in Aaron Jones and Christian Watson. Christian Watson missed the second game, but the wide receivers stepped up. Jalen Reed, like he killed, he bodied. Like Jordan Love, as limited as he is, he looks very posed in the pocket. He's making all the throws. So it's not like you said it. Like they didn't like granted, you had late penalties which extended the drives for the Falcons, but like offensively, you can't complain about the game plan. You ran the ball fairly decently enough. You only had one back. You passed the ball enough where you can win the game. Your defense had some stops, but you couldn't account for Bijan and then Desmond Ritter as a runner, which we've never seen. So he himself extending drives and him taking that like, all right, let me get. So I need to see him actually throw the ball more, not the check downs. Again, he's a young quarterback, which cool, but you got a like I hate seeing Kyle Pitts washing away in Atlanta. I hate that because he's been touted as like the greatest generational tight end prospect ever, but yet he's not utilized. Jake London caught a touchdown pass. I think he had 6 for 60 something yards on a touchdown. That's awesome. That's awesome. But like I need him to spread the wealth a little bit more. Bijan and Algier get the carries, but if they become a more balanced team offensively, they're gonna be a force to be reckoned with in the NFC.
Someone that showed up though, Drake London, had 6 catches, 6-7 yards.
That's what I
But
said.
that guy he had 0 catches last week. He had 6 catches this week. You know, get your playmakers involved. You know, Kyle Pitts only had 2 catches, but that offense is starting to revolve around Bijan. And for Jordan Love, I gotta give him credit. He had 3 touchdowns, but 14 for 25. That's what, 64%.
Be more accurate, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, there's throws to be had. But you said it. They're missing their top receiver, Christian Watson. They're missing Aaron Jones. Who knows how long Aaron Jones is going to be out with his hamstring tweak? And I don't even know what's wrong with Christian Watson. But that's a story for next week. Bills came back to form. Let's hit. I got really nothing else to say about this game. The Bills came back to form. They showed they knew Josh Allen still tried to do something stupid, bro.
That hurdle was
Bro,
stupid.
he tried to hurdle a guy to go into the end zone. He could have like did like a dodge or chuck him. Like he wanted to make a highlight tape. He's already in the Madden cover. You don't need to be don't need more highlights. You want points on the board. And they turn the ball over. They try to go 4-4 down and goal, and turn it. It's like just it's the Raiders. So Devontae showed up. Yay for my fantasy teams. He showed up. He showed up and showed out. But like when there's a level of competition like that, and they were 8 point favorites for a reason. Like they showed up. They showed hey that Monday night game wasn't us. And this could be at their peak when everything's firing. The Bills are one of the best teams. But when things aren't going well and things start to sloppy a little bit, you get a few turnovers, and you're in the game. Like buttholes get tight, that other like that's phrase. People hands get sweaty. Do they have a resilient team? I don't think so. When everything's golden and everything's we chilling, then yeah, it's a fun offense to watch. But when things aren't going well and you're not hitting Stephon Diggs and your running game is non-existent and it's up to Josh Allen to make a play, he tends to not make those plays. Now, who knows? That might be, again, is that a blip or is that a real situation? Who knows? What I do know, Raiders suck, and and if the Raiders suck, the freaking Broncos, we're gonna talk about them later, bro.
Vindication. We'll get to that. We'll get
bro,
to that.
vacation. Go
So,
off,
so,
bro,
so,
bro,
so,
bro,
so,
go off.
so for the Bills, it like Colin Cowherd is the perfect analogy. Mike Tyson, bro. Like their knockout punch, like the Bills have, like their ceiling is so high when they're on like defense, special teams, offense, like all cylinders of the game, all facets. Like when they're clicking, they're like not very few teams can beat them. But that's just not consistent enough. And then, as you mentioned, when it's a tight game where it's nearly contested, when they're playing a stronger defense, when you need to make a play, like you can make a play when it's like, oh, first down, Gabe Davis, Diggs, running with James Cook who had like 100 yards. Shout out to him. Like things like that happens. And you're like, oh, okay, cool. But when it's like you're playing the Jets on Monday night and they're suffocating everything and they're forcing Josh to like, you gotta be, you're good. We need you to be great. Like he could be great against the Raiders, but when the defense, like the Jets, like the Cowboys that he'll see, hell, like the Commanders that he'll see on Sunday, when it forces you, like you gotta be great, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be difficult. Which spoiler, I'm calling the upset. We'll get to that tomorrow, and like I like what I see from the Commanders. I like them a lot, and I'm glad. I do want to apologize to you before we get to my Ravens. You're vindicated because you said, "Yo, the Commanders gonna be in being third place, and the Giants gonna be last." I'm loving what I'm seeing from the Commanders. We'll get to that in a second. But now I'm talking about my Ravens. Yo.
Talk your shit, bro.
Smoking out the Bengals. Bro, I don't have a picture. Actually, hold on. I gotta get it. I gotta get the picture. So we won 27-24, right? If I get the picture. Hold on. All right. Here we go. So I want to shout out Stephiana Bell, Matt Bowen, Mike Clay, Jeremy Fowler, who else? Dan Graziano, Lindsey Cherry, Jason Reed, Eric Moody, Kimberly Martin. Yeah, ESPN experts, take that L. Hold that. Because not y'all all like everyone in their moms was picking the Bengals. And y'all always wrong. Oh, why? Oh, they thought Joe Burrow couldn't have another bad game, right? He did. He did. I don't care. He threw for 200 yards and 2 touchdowns and a pick. That's not indicative of the game. Like I didn't even watch the game, but I'm looking. I'm like, I'm playing 2K. I'm watching Red Zone, but I got the live updates on my phone. I'm getting that. I'm watching it for my fantasy purposes. I'm like, all right, stop. If they don't get that punt return, it's 27-17. Bro, like it was not close. Like the final score is not indicative of the game. They had to throw the ball because they were down by so much. Bro, I'm gonna get the stats. I'm a stats guy. We had as a team 400 yards. They had 280. We had more passing yards. We had a $170 on the ground, which means what? Milking the clock. For guys like Burrow and Mahomes, the best way to beat these guys is to milk the clock and You got to end drives with touchdowns, which is exactly what we did. I'm glad. Justin Tucker missed a kick from 59, which he rarely does. He's the most accurate kicker in the history of the game, Hall of Famer, the best kicker ever. And he missed a 59er. So it should have been 30-24. 30-17, actually. I lied. That punt return. Bullshit. Third downs, we were great. 9 for 14. Extending drives. No sacks allowed. Bengals defense is ass. We all knew this. But yet, y'all all picking the Bengals to win. Why? Because of Joe Burrow? Because Jamal Chase, who had what? 5 catches for 36 yards. Clamped them. T. Higgins went off. One of them got to go off. T. McGee is proving, yo, I got to be a number one somewhere. He had a goose egg week 1. He had 2 touchdowns. I think he had 8 for like 80-something yards and 2 touchdowns. Great week 2. Fuck out of here. We punted twice the entire game. That means basically we're just scoring field goals, end of the half, or we're scoring touchdowns. We punted twice. We didn't turn over the ball. We almost did, but we didn't. Almost did. I know. Lamar got to work on that. Now she gave me that look like, yeah, I know. We got to work on that. But this was a great team win. And I said this, I was walking to work. I'm like, yo, no one's talking about the Ravens like that. Right? Everyone's talking about the Dolphins, which rightfully so, high-powered offense. People talking about the Cowboys, the 49ers, the Eagles, the Chiefs, who are 1-1. But yet no one's talking about the Ravens. You know? And do I mind? I don't. And let me tell you why. Because when everyone's talking about you, that means secretly someone wants you to fail. When no one's talking about you, and you can just sneak under the radar. Oh, the Saints. Like the Saints. You can just sneak, be great, be undefeated, sneak under the radar, and then when they see the Ravens on their schedule, they're like, fuck. They see Lamar improve from week 1 to week 2, getting better and better with Mark Andrews back, throwing for 2 touchdowns. Got beautiful dots and Nelson Algo. That was a dot. Bro, he's getting better with this new offense. We're running the ball extremely well. We're balanced. Our defense, we're injured out the ass in the secondary, and Joe Burrow, y'all savior, cannot take advantage. Great team win from Baltimore. Fuck the Bengals and fuck everyone and their moms who thought they was gonna win. And then straight like that.
I'm glad I'm one of the people. I'll put the Ravens. You feel me? But I will. The one thing I'll say about the Bengals, and we can move on because you said everything there was to say about this game. Going forward, Joe Burrow, calf aggravated again. Same calf he hurt first day of training camp. Got aggravated again. A lot of people were saying, "Yo, you should take." Like they were like saying this, like, "Hey, would it be bad if he took the first few weeks off until he fully was 100% healthy?" Clearly, that leg was messing with him, and there's no excuse. If you're playing, that means you're healthy. You're healthy enough to play. Football players got to remind, yo, you just signed the biggest contract in NFL history. People with more money comes more problems. Yes, but with more money comes more expectations. And that expectation of, yeah, you are paid and there's no visible thing of you being hurt. Everyone's, oh, I'm 100%. I'm good. And then you can't, then he hurts his calf again. So there are going to be people, oh, he's been hurt. But no. If you're playing, that means you're ready to go. Injury or not. Wobbled or not. You're playing. So Joe Burrow got to get your shit together. He might not even play on Monday because of the aggravated calf again. And everyone was saying, yo, you probably should take the first few weeks off, make sure you're healthy to go, and then you pull up for whatever the actual stretch of games. Bengals have a history of starting off like bad. But that also is the defenses that you play. Now to play the Rams next week, and who I don't even know who the backup for the Bengals is. So, spoiler alert, I'm picking an upset. I'm picking the Rams. But you also hit the Bengals. So you're gonna pick the Rams anyway. But I'm picking the Rams actually. But we'll talk about how good the Rams actually look. And I thought they would be bad this year. And I gotta apologize to them. They proved me wrong. You talk about vindication, gotta get flowers and flowers is due. Bengals gotta work on their offense. Ravens, keep flying under the radar. Ravens
Bengals
fly.
offensive line, when we had them for lock the fuck in, they did a horrible job.
They did.
They did a horrible job. Because they no way David Ojabo, second year edge rusher, gets that much pressure, which has to force Joe Burrow to run, like get outside the pocket and then throw the dot to T. Higgins. But then having him have to do that, pop this calf.
Mm-hmm.
So
You
he
look at
has
it,
to.
it's like, yeah, you won, but at what cost? Like in terms of
At
that,
what cost?
you won that you got a touchdown, but then you hurt your calf. So it's like fuck.
Yeah. They
Uh
can get ran on. They're soft.
oh, okay.
No, not soft. Like they can get ran on, and their secondary is ass. Without JC Bates, which is, we said this, like, bro, they're only good because of Joe Burrow. That's it. Their defense can get got. Like that's it. We're moving on.
All right. Seahawks Lions.
Game of the 1 o'clock. Game of the
First
one
overtime
o'clock.
game of the year. First overtime game, I believe. Though technically first and second games, first of the two overtime games of the season. Seahawks, bro, this game was awesome. It was high scoring. Again, Amon Ra is one of the best receivers in the game. DK got hurt and still was producing. There's no real bad takeaways from either team. It was whoever got the ball first was gonna go down and score. Because even in the Lions, had to pick six. It's like, damn, they had to pick six, but like they went right down the field and said, screw the pick six. We're gonna score again anyway. The Lions secondary, CJ Gardner Johnson might be out for the season with a torn pec.
Yeah.
They just got him in free agency. So with that secondary, once he went down, then the Seahawks started really throwing the ball over them. I'm not saying he was like the one difference maker. The Lions, they got to work on that secondary because if you're going to get into shootouts, then you want Jared. And then we gave Jared Goff his flowers, but you can't expect one guy to get into shootouts every single week. Because what if you have a bad game? Hey, Saints have been the Saints defense will be there regardless. As our offense, I gotta finally match up to them. But we'll talk about the Saints. We'll talk about the Saints later on. But for the Lions, they can't stop the run, ish, and they can't stop the pass. They make key plays. Unless that's what happened against the Chiefs. And the Chiefs didn't even have all the receivers. So I think if you play this game again, I think the Chiefs win. But you can't play games again unless you're in the same division. Point is, Seahawks won this game more than the Lions lost. Hey, I got real no takeaways, man. This is an offensive. We knew this game was going to be offensive. I think the Lions have lost 5 times in a row to Seattle, which is insane because they don't even play every year. But they've lost the last 5 times they've played. I didn't even know that they were 0-4 last time. But man, Lions, they get into shootouts and it just can't. They can't beat the Seahawks for some reason. I don't even know who the Lions got next week. But
they got the
they gotta get their ish together defensively.
who the fuck
Offensively, they got the Falcons. That's gonna be a great game.
that's gonna be
If they can't stop the run, if they can't stop anything, it's gonna be another high-powered, high explosive game. So who knows? But Seahawks Lions, no team should walk away like damn. Because if you play that game, let's say you play that game 100 times, and especially in this exact game, I think it's about 50-50 split. I think the Lions get them. I think Seahawks get them. So no, we had them and we just lost. Like this, things happen. Losses happen. It's how you bounce back from those losses. And the Lions and the Seahawks, good job not starting 0-2. They had a bad loss against the Rams, and they responded back with an epic win on the road in Detroit. So that was a good win by them. I think they have who they get this week. Seahawks play the Panthers this week with a better defense, but now offense. So we'll see. We gonna see. But any thoughts?
No, I think it's weird, bro. It's just weird. It's just weird. Like those games, like every single year they play, and it's a high scoring ass game. Like that's literally it.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, why? Why is this a thing? But they show you, like when they're both clicking on all cylinders, like these teams are elite. Like they're not just gonna lay down. Like he did. Jared Goff threw a pick six, which I was like, he was probably like, damn, I was so close to fucking getting the record longest range streak. But now he's like, all right, let's go again. Let's do it again. And Amon-Ra hurt his toe, turf toe. So we're gonna see. But yeah.
All right, word.
All right.
All right. Colts,
Moving
Texans.
on.
Got there right now.
All right. I'll be quick. I feel see Trevor Lawrence said, yo, to Anthony Richardson, yo, like be careful. Granted, it wasn't his fault because he ran to the end zone. It's just how he fell and like he like hit his head.
Yeah.
It's a freak accident, like a freak play. Now, am I hoping he don't play on Sunday? Low key. Low key, yes, because we Ravens played him. So I'm like, that's a little nervous because that boy, he a gamer now. He got it. He like you said, like B John and rookies, like you could tell he got like something. CJ Stroud, he's coming from like him throwing 300 yards is like it's garbage time. He's trying to make a comeback. They're letting him in the game. They're playing soft coverage. Like, okay. But you can see that he can still throw the rock. That's pretty much it. Like the Colts dominated from like the first quarter. Like literally, Andy Richardson had 2 rushing touchdowns in the first quarter. I think the first 2 drives, and then it was like over.
Yeah.
Pretty much from there. So shout out to the Colts.
Texans are fighting though. I gotta give them credit though. They don't quit. And that's D'Amico Ryans. And that did when you have a defender, as a coach, you know that team's gonna fight all the time. Chiefs and Jags, man, this game was ugly.
This game, I don't even want to talk about
this game was ugly. Chiefs go back to the winning ways, but you can't be bro. You can't be confident like, oh my god, the Chiefs are back, bro. Firstly, playing football in Florida in September, that's just what the fuck? It felt like 100 degrees on the field, bro. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy, bro. And you gonna run around at full speed hitting people, bro, in 100-degree weather? You crazy. So power to these players. Jags, they got into the red zone so many times, just couldn't capitalize. They literally couldn't. And the Chiefs, they had a few big plays. Chris Jones, he showed up. Like I was watching the high. I'm like, Jesus Christ, Chris Jones is all over the field. Well, she got paid more, but that's neither here nor there. We're not agents. We're not money men. That's not my business. But Mahomes, he looks a little off, man. I'm not saying it's Mahomes. There's offenses, they'll figure it out. But Eric Bieniemy, man, I'm the first person to talk about this shit, man. And I don't know if it's gonna be an accurate thing, but Eric Bieniemy had his fingerprints on Mahomes the entire time while he was there. And it's new offensive coordinator. Yes, Andy Reid's the one that calls the plays, but something's missing. Something's missing from this offense, and it might just be Eric Bieniemy.
So we're vindicated. We're vindicated. We're on the same page with that. I feel like we're both vindicated. We're like, we know, like, we believe in coordinators. Coordinators matter in this league, bro. Like, both teams looked ugly. Jags should have won, but just something stopped them from like taking control of the game. Like, I think they had a choice to kick a field goal, go for it on 4th and 12 in the red zone. I'm like, where you go for the points. Your defense eventually, great, hindsight's 2020. So you got to stop. So now all you do is score and you win. Come on. You gotta take advantage of those opportunities to win because it's hard to score in this league. It's hard to win. When you allow the Chiefs to only score 17 on you, that's a W. The Chiefs offense the defense is like it's up there now. Like it's improved dramatically. Like Nick Ray said, if you were to tell me like the reason why the Chiefs are looking slow is because of the offense, you're like, oh shit, like you take that. Because eventually Travis Kelce's gonna get healthier, and Mahomes and Travis Kelce is just, you feel me? That's peanut butter jelly. Like it just goes together. So like they're gonna get right. It just unfortunately, I wish they were 0-2 because I love chaos. Bears and Bucks.
Oh man. Okay.
I'm annoyed because Baker Mayfield looked like Tom Brady, son.
Don't say y'all. Don't say y'all. Don't say y'all.
Corbett, get your team, man. Get your team, my brother. Justin Fields can't see reads. They're not letting him run. Like they're holding him back. I'm not gonna lie. It's a little bit of everything as offensive coordinator and Justin Fields. Because literally, granted, when they're getting hit as much as he got hit on Sunday, like I knew the Bucks' rush defense was like stout. It's always been stout. Like it's literally historically, it's always been stout. But like yo, like bro, it was bad. DJ Moore, I think the first drive was getting touches, getting looks. Rest of the game, nothing.
Yeah, he had the
So
first 100 yards, but it's like,
bro, Bears offensive line did not lock in.
yeah, I'll
Let
try.
you hold up for 1 second more. Let him try to do something. Open up the gaps. Let him go through something. I feel like they're holding him back. Let him, you feel me, do something. Bucks is a good win. They're 2-0. Congratulations. Mike Evans scored another touchdown. Fuck Mike Evans. Baker Mayfield. I think he's like second in the league in passer rating.
Fuck Baker Mayfield.
Fuck Baker Mayfield. And you know what I'm saying? But they go against the Eagles. We'll talk about that tomorrow. It's just like, if these I'm
So
like my takes is aging poorly with Baker Mayfield now. Like he's the game manager and he's excelling at the role. Like, and he's. I think for me, right? It's not for the play. The players play. It's the people. It's the person. I just don't like Baker as a person. Maybe that's clouding my judgment a little bit on like, oh, fade Baker. But as a quarterback, I can't deny he's for this system. He's doing it. It helps when you're having Chris Godwin and Mike Evans. It helps. And you're running the ball well with Rasheed White. It helps. But he's not turning the ball over, which is key. And he's making the right decisions.
yeah,
Not really much.
I'll try to be quick regarding the Bears. I mean, I sit in like I'm mustard in Bears culture and Bears nation, so I'll try to be quick. They, there's a lot of disappointment, obviously, because it's like Justin Fields is 5-22 as a starter, and they have lost 13 straight. I think 13 straight games. So it's like, fuck. I think week 3 last year against no, shit, it's almost been a year. It's almost been a year because week 3 last year against the Texans, they won, and then that was the last win. So it's sad. It's like fuck, but last year was exciting because he had his chances to be great. They let him use his legs, his natural ability. I think this year he's trying to prove to people that he can be more than that. Kind of like Lamar a few years ago, where he wasn't trying to run as much. He was actually just trying to throw the ball, and that kind of led to him fumbling and picks and other stuff like that because he's trying to prove the outside people wrong instead of just winning games. I believe the pocket awareness and the pocket presence will come eventually with better offensive line play. But when you're staring down receivers, like that's the one thing about quarterbacks. You know, you can't give a tell. You have to look away. You have to look in your eyes and look the defender away. If you're staring people down, you're gonna have a bad time. Now DJ Moore is like, there's so many times they're like, yo, I'm wide open. Like even if he's not like, and I think he has like college tendency, he has to see him open before he doesn't trust DJ Moore yet. This is the first prime time receiver he's had. He's like, damn, I gotta wait for him to be open because before I throw it because it's gonna be a pick. Nobody can get there. But DJ Moore is like, bro, give me a fucking chance, and I got you. And I hope. I mean, again, I'm not gonna pick them against the Chiefs, but for Corbett's sanity and for my, like just for like my vindication, I hope that he elevates. You know, this is America's game of the week next week. You know, this is like the game that at least at 4 o'clock window, the best game. Hopefully, Justin Fields and that offense can get it together. Because defensively, they are right. You know, they suck, but like they just like they're just on the field so much because their offense keeps getting 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. So hopefully this offense and just starts being gelling and just do something different. Offense. Oh my, bro.
When
I'm
your
not.
survivor picks is out.
One of my survivor picks is out because the fucking Chargers lost in overtime. Justin Herbert has what 6 touchdowns and no picks, and he's 0-2 because his defense can't stop a fucking soul. Brandon Staley got to go right now. You are a defensive-minded coach. You was on the Rams as a defensive coach. They hire you for your analytical skills and your defensively minded philosophy. Why the hell is Ryan bum-ass Tannehill throwing it all over the yard on you? Why are you still playing man coverage? You don't have the personnel for man coverage. The Saints do. The Niners do. The Cowboys do. Because they get a pass rush to get there. Khalil Mack, return of the Mack. Where the fuck have you been, bro? Joey Bosa showed up, had like 2.5 sacks, so I'm not even going to talk about him. But that pass rush was letting Ryan Tannehill look like 2019 Ryan Tannehill when they were the 1 seed. Bro, what the actual hell is going on? And everyone's going to be, oh, Justin Herbert's not doing enough. They have 6 touchdowns and no picks. The offense has no turnovers. They're not doing anything wrong. They may be settling for 3 a few times. Maybe. But other than that, they have done nothing wrong. And yet somehow, someway, people are going to say, oh, Justin Herbert sucks. He's not the guy. He's not the, But Brandon Staley's got to go. That's equivalent in terms of if Mike Tomlin's Steelers defenses were this bad. Mike Tomlin is a defensive, especially his secondary. His upbringing is what? Special teams and defensive backs. If Mike Tomlin was bad defensively and they weren't winning, oh my God. Oh, get him fired. Get him fired. Get him fired. But you're bad defensively and you're losing because of your defense? Pack it up. Again, everyone talks about Stephen A. says it. He would have been gone that Jags game. You give up a 27-point lead in the playoffs and your defense chokes? Pack it up. You're not coming back to LA or San Diego or wherever the hell Chargers fans are located. Get it together. It's sad. I love Derrick Henry, the times that he scored. Oh, Henry, all that good stuff. The Chargers literally charged themselves again. And Justin Herbert, literally, he's throwing the ball over the field. Keenan Allen's going crazy. Mike Williams making good catches. But it's literally, they have no Eichler, no problem. They don't want to run the ball anyway. So it's the defense, bro. Defense. You had one drive. They have one drive where, hey, all they needed was a field goal. Guess what? Ryan Tannehill is throwing the ball to Traylon Burks and D-Hop playing man coverage. J.C. Jackson might not be him. That's one of those things where is it the Patriots or is it a player? That time, it's looking like it's the Patriots that made him look good. Chargers, get it together, man. Get it together.
All right, y'all play the Vikings this week. Y'all both need to win. And if y'all lose, bro, the Vikings, they could go 0-3 and potentially still make the playoffs because the NFC is weak. If the Chargers go 0-3, they're cooked. They're cooked. Because Colin Cowherd said today, 0-2, all right. It's cool. It's salvageable. 0-3, you lose the locker room going 0-3. And everyone's already looking for a reason to let you go. Brandon Staley, if you go 0-3, and like you said, it's not the offense. The offense is doing shit. The defense is slacking. Now, you said it. They kicked not too many field goals, but they settled for 3, and they couldn't close drives out. They got to work on that, and that's okay. But they got to lock in. The Titans defense, though, is going to keep them in a lot of games, though. So, like, we're doing all this talking about the Titans offense. The Titans defense is going to keep them into a lot of games. Absolutely. Now, can Ryan Tannehill do like that and have some clutch moments like he had against the Chargers? We're going to see. Depending on who he plays, maybe. But
big facts.
If he can charge his defense to Swiss cheese. Bro, thank you, Giants. I'm cursing out people. My ox across the street, I'm like, yo, they Giants fans. I'm like, yo, bro, they down 20-0. I'm like, let me go get my sandwich. Fuck the bullshit. But man, yo, my nigga, I lose to these Cardinals. It's GG's. Like, bro, like, you guys shoot the 30. I told my aunt that. I was like, me and you guys shoot 30. And his brother, I was like, me and you guys shoot 30. Texting my boy Jaden. I'm like, yo. I sent him a voice note. I was like, I'm in survivor pool. If y'all motherfuckers lose, I'm out 50 cash, out of 35,000. Ah, I'm tight. I'm heated. But then they came back. It's, I think for Arizona, this went exactly how they wanted this to go. Like, all right, they don't want to win. They're going to play hard, but they don't want to win. They want to give the fans, like, all right, cool. Believe in us a little bit, get the. But at the end, they know they don't want to win. They know that. But I'm more disappointed in the Giants because how did they get to this point?
Yeah.
And now Saquon's out because of the ineptitude of, no offense, I love Dable, but why? If you're already milking the clock, why do you need Saquon for that? Matt Breida running with him. So now Saquon's potentially out. They saying game time decision. No, he's not playing on Thursday. Now you want to play next week, like week after, sure. You get 10 days rest, whatever. But you're not playing Thursday. Against 49ers, that defense? Hell no. But good win by the Giants. Won me some money. Let's go.
Yeah, I got really nothing else to add. It was just Giants. You start off 60-0, and just in terms of having no points scored in 6 quarters, then Danny Dimes comes back. Cardinals was one of those things where like they want to look good. They don't want to look like they're tanking, but then they actually are. It's kind of an interesting thing. Niners Rams, gotta give Rams credit. They showed up and fought. Kyron, Domer. Nakua, Puka Nakua, bro, dog. It's gonna be sad when Cooper Cup comes back because all the targets and stuff is gonna go to Cooper Cup.
Nah, I disagree. He's gonna be the Robert Woods to the Cooper Cup. They're both gonna eat. Watch.
Cool. Point is, Stafford's been playing well. I mean, I gotta give him credit. He did throw a bad pick. Should have been more picks, but Niners, man, they got in. They came out. There's nothing real to take away from the game. Rams lost, cool. They covered, cool. They show flashes. They have skill guys. They're making plays for them. And Brock Purdy not turning the ball over.
Yeah, they have a young defense. But with Aaron Donald as your leader, it's easy to them to fall in line. Mm-hmm. So like, they have potential there. Like I think they have like the most rookies on their defense. Like they're a young ass team, but when you got leaders like Stafford and you got a leader like Aaron Donald, it helps. Helps a lot. And great coaching by Sean McVay helps a lot. Jets and Cowboys, bro. I felt bad. Watching. I watched. It's every time you go on red zone with this game, it's Zach Wilson interception. Dak Prescott touchdown to Ferguson. All whole CD Lamb again, a bunch of yards, bro. Cowboys. It's hard to put stock in the Cowboys because they beat on 2 mediocre teams. I needed them to be real battle tested. Then I could be like, all right, I got them in the Super Bowl, but like we gotta see it. You know what I'm saying? We gotta see it.
Yeah, Cowboys, man, they beat the New York teams 70-10. Like New York teams without good quarterbacks or good offenses, really, and just overall, Cowboys showed up defensively. Dak's not making mistakes, and that's what you want. And it's kind of weird. It's like, oh, and someone mentioned, Dick Wright mentions, oh, when Dak's not making mistakes, then it's he should be doing more. But then when he makes mistakes and he's trying to do more, you just rely on your defense. He's one of those guys who can't win. He can't win if he wins. He can't win if he loses. So it's kind of sad. Commanders and Broncos, man, this game was wild because Corbin and I was betting on the Broncos, man. And at the time, was my biggest regular season bet I made. It was $25. And I thought the Broncos were going to win. And they were up 21-3 and choked. Sam Howell, Eric Bieniemy, gotta give them respect. Hold on, vindication. Man, just I was glad that the Commanders defense though. I don't know, man. It's bad. They showed up. Chase Young, he's gonna get right. He's gonna get healthier and healthier. Like, watch out for the Commanders, man.
Indeed. I wish Bro, Nick Wright is lucky bastard. I feel like because he live bet the Giants come
All
back
right,
and he live bet the Commanders in the parlay. I did not think of that, and I'm like, fuck.
yeah.
I mean, I wanted to take cash on it anyway, but like, damn.
But 10. Well, he had 521 grand.
So
So
that's still like a lot of bread. Like that's like at least a grand I could have won.
word facts at least.
Side shit. But nah, good win by the Commanders. That the final score is not indicative. Like the Hail Mary, eye emoji. But you know
Put
what?
10 cash on that parlay, you would have won for $420.
That's a lot of money. Fly to Canada, that costs a lot of money. Dolphins, Pats. I'm glad you knew the reference. South Park. Shout out to South Park. Tua played decent. Like he had a decent game one. I said decent. He had a great game one. Kind of came back to earth a little bit, but the Patriots defense with prep time, Bill Belichick is like Batman. Like it's hard to beat him. And Tyreek was Tyreek, but he didn't go for two. He didn't go for $1 or $2. He they didn't want to give him the deep ball, so he kind of gave him like little chunks. Jalen Waddle, he had more chunks. He had more opportunities to show what he can do. They ran the ball down the Patriots' throat, so you can't really fault the Patriots for losing that. I mean, you can't fault for Tua not throwing a lot of touchdowns and shit. They're running the ball well. I bet. Like, I don't need to do nothing. Cool, Gucci. So like he's gonna have those games. So people are like, oh, I lost because of Tua. He do. Nah, the Dolphins are a top 5 team in the league right now. Like, I would gladly say that.
Because at any point,
Yeah, we had a show, my brother.
Fernanda. God.
You
Anyway,
don't close your doors, right?
she was asking me if I was going to tailgate on Saturday. I plan to. But anyway,
Because Notre Dame being Ohio State, where
anyway, so we'll talk. I'll talk later. Point is, Dolphins, man, they look good. They look good. And that's sometimes like winning. Like someone said this on Twitter because the Saints won yesterday. Right, we're gonna talk about that game next. You go 2-0, right? Don't worry about making it look pretty. Make it look pretty later on. So you're in the business of going 1-0 every week, and you do that. Yeah, some weeks you might have to get into shootouts, and your offense might be explosive. Some weeks you gotta be gritty as hell, run the ball, and win like 17-13 type shit. That's the mark of a good team if you can win in different ways. First week, Tua, Tyreek, Jalen Waddle going crazy in the air. This week was Mostert and Ahmed running the ball. So those kind of, if you can win in different ways, that's a mark of a great team. Because you can't never stop Tyreek Hill. You can only slow him down. So good job by the Dolphins. And for the Patriots, they fought. They will always be in games because of that defense. You talked about it with the Titans. They'll always be in games because their defense is actually pretty legit. But can their quarterback like take it to the next level? They had like 3 turnovers, pick, and then 2 fumbles, and it's like, damn. It's like the drives that they were moving the ball, boom, turnover. So turnovers, penalties, shooting yourself in the foot. Can't do that. As much as I'm like, I'm pissed, I'm happy, whatever. I, wow, that's crazy. Just remove yourself. Work. Saints won 2-0. But my calm tone, right? I was hyped yesterday. I was like, okay, we won. Cool. But reflection, right? Because that's what the show is about. It's about reflection, recap, analysis, and understanding why teams win and why teams lose. Saints, we won because we fought or faced a rookie quarterback. Bryce Young was not good yesterday. He had some moments, but our defense is as not as young as everyone. Oh my god, you're such an old defense. It's not that old. It's veteran and it's like wily. Something I always give Dennis Allen credit for is that he can coach his ass off on defense. And we brought in Derek Carr to not have the offensive struggles, but when you're getting sacked 4 times, it's like that defense for the Panthers. I've said this, and Shabazz can attest. Hold on, Shabazz. Yo, that Panthers defense. What I always say about that defense.
Nice.
Them boys good.
Good. And Brian Burns actually played, which is surprising, but his
Right.
input was already in there. But I'll talk about it after.
Cool. So yeah, them boys good. As Shabazz just attest, them boys good. So you face 2 weeks in a row of stout run defenses and stout defenses in general that can get after the passer. And our offensive line just got to be better. When you gave Derek Carr time to throw, boom, deep shot, Michael Thomas. Boom, deep shot to Rashid Shaheed. Boom, amazing catch to Chris Olave. So you're giving him time to throw, the explosiveness will come, right? The offense will start gelling eventually. We just gotta protect Derek Carr. We gotta give him time. And Jamal Williams going out kind of ruined Shabazz's fantasy team because he had like his matchup. He almost beat me, but Jamal Williams went out. But Tony Jones Jr., another Notre Dame product. See, Notre Dame started to take over, son. But anyway, Tony Jones stepped up and got us a great effective yards. And Taysom Hill, man, gotta give him credit with credit's due. But we talked about this before. Can't turn the ball over on good drives. One and two, can't be making penalties. The first or second drive in the third quarter, boom, we get a strip sack. The pocket collapses on Bryce Young. We sack him. Ball comes out. We're gonna start the ball. We're gonna have the ball at the 15-yard line. But no, holding, defense, right? So it's like, don't shoot yourself in the foot, don't commit dumb penalties, and don't turn the ball over. And Derek Carr had another bad interception, throwing it in quadruple coverage. I know, give Chris Olave a shot, but also be smart, dude. Don't throw the ball when four people are in the vicinity. So overall, good win. It was a gritty win. Again, defensively, I got no complaints, bro. Our defense is legit. It's one of the best defenses in the league. It's just our offense. But we talked about it with the Ravens, no one's really talking about them. Fly under the radar. We play the Packers this week. I work at a school in Indiana, so a lot of people are like Bears, Colts, and Packers fans. So we actually play all three of them this season, so it's gonna be actually pretty cool to do the Indiana sweep, or the South Bend sweep, I guess. But overall, 2-0 is 2-0. We're the first time since in 10 years, since 2013 that we've been 2-0. And yeah, we made the playoffs that year. So who knows?
Good win. This was ugly. You guys. Oh my god.
Should have just blew them out, but
you should have blew him out. I had a parlay for Derek Carr to throw 2 touchdowns, but I guess. But he did say, I think I saw natural on TikTok. I saw them someone on TikTok a video where like Derek Carr was like, "Yo, like the next team I go to need to have a defense." And like, hey, when he was on the Raiders, if he had scored 20 points, he was like 62. He's 2-0 with the Saints, scoring 20 or under. They could definitely capitalize on that. I like how he's getting his Michael Thomas and Olave involved. Olave should have had a touchdown. I ain't gonna lie. But the toe, I know the big toe. But good win. Your defense played outstanding again. I think that's a consistent thing. You guys play the Packers. I'm going for you guys to get the Packers. I love chaos. So let's go. Let's get that dub 3-0. Both teams. You know what I'm saying? Ravens versus Saints. All right, let's go. And Brown Steelers. Oh my god. First off, prayers out to Nick Chubb for sure. Like that. It's bad when they say we're not gonna show you guys the replay. That's how you know it's like shit hit the fan. And like that boy's a warrior. The same thing happened to him in college 8 years ago. So that happened again. The same leg. That's the kind of thing that like ruins careers. So I'm praying, and we're praying that he gets well. Not even just if he plays football again, great. But as a man, like as like a person, he's able to like bounce back and walk in his own 2 feet, his own power again. That's scary. Like I love social media because we get to do this, but I hate social media because as soon as they say we're not showing a replay, why is the first thing I'm seeing on my Twitter X timeline? And will think like I don't need to see that. If they're saying it's that bad, and I'm pretty sure if you're there live watching it, you're obviously rooting for the Steelers. If you're a Steelers fan, you don't want to see that. You don't want to see that. And then they showed it, and everyone was like, "Oh," so that's heartbreaking. Got out the way. In terms of the game, it was ugly. Brown should have spanked the Steelers. The Browns defense is legit, but it's hard because no fun intended. Deshaun Watson is ass now. He's cooked. He is absolutely cooked. Now he started heating up a little bit in the second half where he started doing dots to Elijah Moore and Amari Cooper. But and Ford was actually the backup was actually doing his thing, but he couldn't finish drives. They kept settling for three. No, that's not gonna do it. And then you threw a pick six to start the game, and to end the game, you did a strip sack and then a fumble six by T.J. Watt. So it's like the defense of the Steelers carried. Their offense was ass. 171-yard run, like catch and run by George Pickens. That's pretty much the offense that happened. So if you're the Browns, you're like, yo, defense was elite. Offense got to step up, especially now without Nick Chubb. They got to step up. They play the Titans this week. It's going to be another ugly game. But I don't know who's going to win it, but we're going to see how Deshaun Watson and the Cleveland Browns offense bounces back from this horrible loss when they should have won.
For sure. Again, you mentioned it with the praise for Nick Chubb, but man, the Steelers offense, bro. We talk about offense. We give love and shout outs to coordinators, bro. But we gotta give indictments, bro. Matt Canada gotta go. This offense for the Steelers, bro. They can't run. They can't really do anything. And is that Kenny Pickett or is that the offensive coordinator? You're designing runs that just don't do anything. You don't have one offensive line to protect Kenny Pickett or give Najee Harris any sense of protection. Jalen Warren is like doing his best to be like the spark plug, but you're not giving him anything. You're not giving the offense any juice at all. And Mike Tomlin's defenses can only carry you so far. You had a pick six on the first play, and then you get scoop and score by TJ Watt to end the game, basically. Like, if you're going to get those points, the Browns are winning this game single-handedly. And again, Nick Chubb also got hurt too. Nick Chubb had 10 carries for 60 yards. Like, he was going to go crazy against you guys. So the Steelers can't stop the run, but they can stop the pass. So it's kind of like they have fast and shifty defensive linemen, but no size up front. Except for Larry.
Cam Hayward's out. That's why.
Cam Hayward was out. So that's why they couldn't stop the run. So hopefully he comes back. I think he's on IR, so he's going to be missing the next 4 games. And the Steelers got hope for who do we got next week?
Raiders.
Oh, they got the Raiders Sunday Night Football with Josh Jacobs. So again, another team that wants to run the ball and use the run to set up the pass. Good luck. But again, TJ Watt, you got a chance. He also, shout out to him, became like the all-time leader, sack leader in Steelers history, which that says something because he broke the tie with James Harrison, and the Steelers' defense is just in history are just like legit. So being the sack leader for that franchise, gotta tip my cap to you. He also won me a nice parlay. At least I had a Saints, Dolphins, and Steelers parlay. Won a little nice little change for my parlays for this weekend. But yeah, that's week 2 in the books. Man, offenses are starting to come back. I think week 3 is gonna be cool. I hope the weather. I just looked up the weather in Green Bay. It looks like it's about to rain, like rain. So looking like another under. But hey, what's the ultimate goal is to go 1-0 every week. So Saints are 2-0, Ravens 2-0. There's like 9 undefeated teams. Shockingly, 3 of them are in the NFC South: Falcons, Bucks, and Saints. So I knew the Saints were gonna go 2-0. I just didn't think the Falcons or freaking Bucks were. So
wait, real quick before we go. So you said there's 9 teams 2-0. Who do you think is the last undefeated team?
Hold on, let me see if I can find that so I can put the graphic up. Hold on. We're going on Fox. Look it up real quick. Fox. I'm gonna do undefeated teams. There we go. Got it. All right. I'm gonna show you guys. So the 9 teams that are undefeated are the following. You got Dolphins, Ravens, Cowboys, Eagles, Commanders, Niners, and then Falcons, Saints, Bucks. It's crazy. Everyone said the AFC is the best division, right? 7 of the 9, all NFC. Just gonna throw that out there. But out of those 9, who's the last undefeated?
Well, let's think about it. So The 49ers are winning Thursday, so they're gonna move on. Ravens is winning. They're moving on. Dolphins play the Broncos. They should win, but you never know. But I'm gonna say they win. Boom. Cowboys play Arizona. They're gonna win. Now the Bucks and Eagles play each other, so one of them is gonna be out.
Right.
I'm thinking it's the Eagles. You know what I'm saying? Washington plays the Bills, so they might lose that, so they'll be out. Falcons play
Lions.
the Lions, so they might be out. So hey, it all depends on who you play, man. It all depends. It all
Word.
depends.
Based off of schedule, I know the Saints don't play a competent quarterback till week 7, and that's Trevor Lawrence on Thursday Night Football. So, like, we got the Packers, then we got the freaking Patriots, Texans, and then we play another team. It might be week 6, but we can easily go 5-0, 6-0. You know, so I don't know, but you can't even make these predictions. That's the beauty about football. You can't make predictions until maybe about week 6. Week 6, then teams are on out to form. Players get hurt though, so again, prayers up for all the players that got hurt. Hope everyone makes a speedy recovery and continues to live not as football players if you don't play again, but just as men. Hopefully, you guys are rally strong. But yeah, Natty Baps.
Shabazz. Drop a like, subscribe if you're new. Tell a friend to tell a friend. We'll see you guys tomorrow, 8:30 sharp. Be there or be there. No choice. No choice.
Shout out to Maya.
Shout out to Maya for that. Baby girl, love you. All right, y'all. Peace out.